Um, the reason why I wanted to speak was I I heard Papa G say, "He who has done it will know he has done it." Right? You can hear me okay still? Okay, so I hear everything that you say, Father, and the Master says, and Papa G says, and I've been trying to be vigilant and not really give anything to the mind and just keep quiet and it just been I just been trying to keep quiet and just sit on your lap, right? But I don't feel like I've done it, like Papa G said. And I don't know what more that you can say or what more I can hear Muji say, or I don't know if it's another Satsang I can hear that's going to change anything, or should I just be vigilant? I've been listening to you guys since 2013, and I feel like I should feel more secure and established, and I don't. And I don't think it's just a thought. I want to be secure and established in the fact that I am, which I know, and I don't want to be one of those people that be like, I know it intellectually. I just want what the truth is. I don't want to use the inquiry as a painkiller no more. I just want to totally be the self and know that I'm the self and not talk about it, not let it be a phony thing. I want whatever light that shines through you, Father, and Muji and Papa G, I want it to shine through me as well. And I don't know if I'm articulating right or whatever, but I just want the real thing. I don't want to talk about it no more. I don't want to sit and wait no more. I don't want to lay in bed and just hope and just, if I be quiet and just be still and stop the inquiry and stop the search. And I know it's simple and all that. It's just something's not happening. And I don't want to go through that no more. I don't want to go through another satsang. I don't want to be one of those people no more. Whatever needs to happen, I want it to happen, and I don't even know what needs to happen. But those are my words.
This was a good report, a lot of integrity in this report. Now, what Papaji said led to something like the idea of having done it. But you said something which was even more important, which was that I've got on your lap. Now, once you got on my lap, all that you want, all of ideas about how it should be, and even whether you have done it or not, is none of your concern. That's the point of coming on the lap. If you step on the lap of the Sadguru, then you know that all that you desire, all that you want, all of how life should be, whether you have done it or not, everything is then Papaji's problem. We gave him Papa's lab. That's why he was called Papaji. Use the term father. Same way. You climb on the lap of the father. Then you don't have to be concerned about anything at all. In this moment, you're in the lap of the Sadguru. Now, if you pick up a notion about yourself, then you go down to play for a bit. That's all that this game is. In this moment already, you're in the Sadguru's lab. But when you play with any notion, then you are stepping down to play for a bit. So satsang is just a call back to the lab. Now, are you on the lab? Before the answer, you are. You know what I mean? Before a conclusion, you just naturally are. Before you can judge whether you are or not, you are. Your natural state is that. Now, here naturally, is there a concern about whether you have it or you got it or not? So, suppose for a moment we forget about everything that happened. The car journey that got you here, how you started the satsang, then you asked the question, everything that I even said, all forgotten for one moment. Naturally, what is full, is real, is complete right now.
It's just that simple. Something just don't want to believe it's that simple, but it is. It just seemed like it needed to be work. It just seemed like it doesn't seem like grace should be upon me like that. I'm too much of a sinner, seems like. You know,
Can you repeat these last two sentences, my dear? I didn't get you. It seemed like?
it, it doesn't seem like grace should be upon me like that. I feel like I'm too much of a sinner. I mess up too much throughout the day. My mind is attacking people throughout the day. It doesn't seem right for me to just sit on your lap and just be in the moment and just know past and present don't even matter. It seems too simple, but I know it's just that simple.
It is this simple. And yet, I can understand what you are saying, that it is the habit to go back to a notion about ourselves, whether I'm worthy enough to get it like this so simply, but I've been a sinner in my past, or all these concepts can be there. But there's so many who have tried for so many years, hundreds of lifetimes doing sadhana, and they don't seem to get it. How can Father say that this moment, this is all there is, I got it? Is it? So it can seem like this habit of going to this judgmental mind, which is making the report card about yourself, which is saying that it cannot be so simple. But actually, if you are that, then it has to be simpler than simpler. If you're already that, which everyone is saying, all the sages are saying, they've already said that you are that. Now, if you are that, then there must be nothing to do, nowhere to go. This is the meaning of getting on the Guru's lap or being at my father's feet. All is the same thing. If we are not exchanging your being, your presence, or any idea about yourself, either the I got it idea or the I didn't get it idea, neither of them are meaningful. Now these have been compulsive. These have been the habit, the addiction for so long that it can seem like the cleaning up seems to take some time. So this is what I mean by the withdrawal symptoms from the mind. When you're drenched in this moment, in your own being, then naturally it is seen that this was it. That's why you say, I know actually in my heart that it is that simple, but something refuses to accept it. Which means my mind still comes up with the resistance, saying it cannot be this. And that still has some power because it has been given power in the past. So as we shake through these withdrawal symptoms for a bit, just know that I'm here holding your hand, and your heart now is given more meaning than the mind. But it can be that from time to time the mind still comes up and gets some belief and attention, and that's okay. That's why I say that we have satsang every day for this. If it was finger snap like that, where I could just tell you that this moment you are complete, naturally in the most natural way, and then the mind would not put up a fight with that, then we would just need to have one satsang of 10 minutes, 1 minute. But I know the mind puts up a fight, and because the habit has been to give it belief in the past, that's why we look at it again and again. Is it true that there is something to be done? Is it true that there is somewhere to go? Is it true that you are not the self? None of these are true, and yet the mind will convince you that they are. Also, what I want to share with you is don't make your vigilance into the checker guy. So sometimes when we hear the word vigilance, then in that word, which is a very beautiful word about right now, something becomes like a plan for me to become the checker guy. That I must check on my state and am I being free enough or not? Vigilance actually is much more in the moment. In the moment, if you are experiencing some suffering, then we look at the concept that we are believing about ourselves and just let go of that, either through inquiry or through surrendering. It is let go of. Just that much vigilance is enough. You don't have to become the vigilant one, because in the vigilant one will give you a progress report. He will say, yes, yes, today 80% free. Yesterday was 90%, so today I'm less. You see, it is not that. That is not vigilance. Vigilance just means we don't go into some sort of a denial of the suffering. When suffering is there, we are vigilant to it. We are looking at it and saying, okay, this is the concept I'm believing about myself. Maybe I need to surrender it or to really inquire and see whether this is true. Let me make it simpler. Let's continue with the metaphor of the father's lap. You're on the father's lap. You are not suffering. There can still be pain from time to time. But when nothing is your concern, Then suffering, which is resentment, grievances, pride, false humility, see, all these things we are not suffering from. Remorse, regret, all that is called suffering. Then, because nothing is my concern, I cannot have a grievance. If nothing is my concern, then I cannot have pride or guilt. Everything is my Father's doing. So when suffering comes, that, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Why did I? Yesterday at work, I was so rude to my co-worker. I'm really not a good person. You see, when these kind of thoughts come, then we have to look at them and say, who is this one who did all that yesterday? Where is the one who spoke these words with integrity, not some sort of a Advaita excuse, but just with integrity? We find that that one is not there. There is nobody like that. So that is how vigilance works. What is it that we are believing about ourselves right now? But if we make that mental, if we say, oh, I'm just 50% worthy of finding freedom because yesterday I was so rude to my co-worker. These report cards that we make about ourselves. So very simply, just get on the Father's lap and forget about how it must be there.